It's not what you did, son. It's who you did it to.
Nobody?
Having a nice personality is important for the other person to treat you right, and it might be also the reason for them to like you. Keanu Reeves is one of the nicest people in Hollywood, and you need to know why and how he became that person. Make sure you watch this video till the end as we tell you about Keanu Reeves being flirted over by celebrities. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon for notification on our future content. Who is Keanu Reeves? If we could make a film about Keanu's life, it would presumably win a couple of Oscars. There is limitation on who could depict the job impeccably. Reeves doesn't frequently discuss the series of occasions that made him what his identity is. Just he knows each diversion in the movie of his life, and he has outstanding beauty and restriction with regards to sharing his story. The extraordinary adversities that occurred for him were only one piece of the image. For quite a while, he was his audience, and afterward, something changed. Keanu Reeves' vocation took a twisting way in progress, and it was just later that the world considered him and recognized him for what he was: a warrior, helpful, and more of an unassuming man. He was born in Beirut, Lebanon on September 2, 1964. He is of English Hawaiian plummet. Before turning into a heartbreaker and an activity film saint, he had a lot of sufferings and difficulties in his life. His dad, Samuel Reeves, spent almost half of his life in a correctional facility for managing heroin. Consequently, Keanu Reeves was abandoned when he was just 3 years old. Keanu's mother, Patricia, was left to deal with the kid and his sister Kim without anyone else. Even though she was a costume designer, allegedly she was filling in as a stripper at that point, and she was the solitary provider in the family. To start with, the group of three moved from Lebanon to Sydney and afterward to New York. In the end, they settled down in Toronto. All through this time, Keanu's mom remarried multiple times, which implied that the entertainer-to-be had 3 stepfathers throughout a brief time frame. As a young person, the future star battled with dyslexia and a propensity to ignore authority, which made him ultimately exit school. In his interview with Today, Keanu told the journalist that he didn't have a customary way since he changed 4 secondary schools, so this entire period was somewhat rough for him. Keanu never completed secondary school. This is a colossal drawback for anyone to survive. Keanu blew away his assumptions. However, the greatest preliminaries of his character were on the way. What makes Keanu Reeves special? Keanu consistently needed to turn into an entertainer. Even though he was certainly not an extraordinary student at school, he generally sustained a distinct fascination for acting. Hockey likewise had an uncommon spot in his heart, and he was exceptional as a goalie. His game's vocation went to a dramatic stop after he harmed his knee. His injury pulls pranks on him right up till today, and his fans could see that on the arrangement of John Wick. Maybe it was written in the stars that Keanu would rather turn into an A-rundown entertainer who might surprise Hollywood. He engaged in acting when he was only 9 years of age. He assumed a few parts in the theater and was even cast for the job of Mercutio in Shakespeare's exemplary Romeo and Juliet when he was only 15. Even in the last part of the 80s, Keanu showed up in a few advertisements, including one for Coca-Cola. He showed up in One Step Away, yet he couldn't exactly discover his place until he moved to Los Angeles. A man in his mid-20s without any reserve funds and huge plans, Keanu was resolved to prevail upon the City of Angels. Paul Aaron, Keanu's previous stepfather, helped him during this time by tracking down a reasonable chief for the entertainer. The jobs before long fired accumulating. The young-looking entertainer got conspicuous for playing teens. He stalled out in the part of the uncontrollable or awkward kid driven by booming hormones. Nonetheless, he was a craftsman who understood what he needed. He accepted most open doors life tossed at him. However, he kept his eyes on his objective. During the 1990s, he gradually started to venture outside his high school jobs. He had a colossal effect with Point Break, 1991, alongside his co-star Patrick Swayze. In 1992, he got the MTV Movie Award for the Most Desirable Male. Keanu Reeves noted as nicest person on earth. The accounts of Keanu's on-set tricks are less diva, more complete legend. No doubt, he got shitloads for fronting The Matrix in 1999. However, he decided to give a colossal piece of his profit for the subsequent 2 movies to the embellishments folks and individuals in the background, whom he felt merited it more, totaling an announced $75 million. Likewise, when he was at the stature of his heartbreaker status, Keanu took a $2 million compensation cut for The Devil's Advocate, so the studio would have the option to stand to employ Al Pacino as the lead. He additionally took a detailed 90% pay cut on The Replacements so they could employ Gene Hackman. What's more, the best part is at this story from Reddit. A family companion constructs film sets. Doesn't configuration is one of the helpless fellows that simply assembles. At any rate, he dealt with the set for The Matrix, and Keanu caught wind of family inconvenience he was having and gave him a $20,000 Christmas reward to take care of him. He likewise was one of the lone individuals on the set that needed to know individuals' names and would make proper acquaintance and mean it, and would converse with individuals as they were his companions and not underneath him, since they were essentially making nothing to fabricate a set. I've never heard anybody say Keanu is douche. Seems like the most delightful individual in Hollywood from a recycled insight. Keanu was mysteriously gone for quite a long time because the entertainer intentionally enjoyed a reprieve from the spotlight. In any case, soon individuals began seeing Keanu in a wide range of arbitrary circumstances out in the open. He was discouraged, yet held that sensible appeal he had consistently had. Rather than ridiculing him or allowing him to fall into blankness, his fans needed to give him some adoration and backing. They began offering their tales about experiences to the entertainer, and a considerable lot of them were tragic or endearing. Different individuals tweeted about their encounters conversing with him, and they all concurred that he was sweet, well-mannered, and truly a decent audience. Some way or another, Keanu figured out how to keep away from that run-of-the-mill Hollywood presumption. His fans even named him the world's pound. Celebrities that flirted him. Not only his fans loved him, but also countless celebrities had a crush on him. To pay tribute to you, Keanu Reeves has worked with Winona Ryder. It is absolutely a little glimpse of heaven when it's a common crush, and it's particularly uncommon when it occurs in VIP circles. Fortunately, this is the situation for entertainers. Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder, who straightforwardly conceded that they like one another. According to an interview, the two artists met each other and they both have a healthy crush. Winona Ryder said that, "We got married in Dracula. No, I swear to God, I think we're married in real life." Both of them talk about their feelings and appreciation for each other as well, as we see adorable chemistry between the two. Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock turned out to be dearest companions on the arrangement of their 1994 film, Speed. The explanation their science is so searing in the film because the two created affections for each other off-screen also. However, ever the courteous fellow, Reeves saved his affections for his co-star restrained to stay proficient. Bullock and Reeves are both known for keeping their own lives out of the spotlight. This is particularly evident with regards to their heartfelt lives, which makes the media even more fascinated. Yet, regardless of the staggering sparkle among Bullock and Reeves, the two never chose to authoritatively date. Both entertainers showed up on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and they both showed up independently to talk about their affections for one another. While talking with Bullock, she confessed to experiencing issues working with Reeves since she liked him. "I consider how sweet Keanu Reeves was, and how attractive he was," Bullock said. She kept saying it was testing traversing a scene with the John Wick entertainer, since she would consistently get overjoyed and begin chuckling around him. Also, Kelly Ripa did not hold back during her live interview with Keanu Reeves, wherein she confessed her feelings to him. With that, she used to make out with a Keanu Reeves cutout when she was young. Well, that kind of makes it pretty evident how much Ripa was obsessed with Keanu Reeves. Life has been one hell of a bumpy ride for Keanu. He had gone through a lot, but still, he found in his heart to be nice and lovely, and even got fans and celebrities to like him. Indeed, whatever you throw in the universe will certainly get back to you. Do you think Keanu Reeves deserved to be called the nicest person in Hollywood? Who do you think deserves Keanu's heart? Before leaving, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for notification on our future content. With that being said, see you in the next one.